time. I have a feeling it'll be better this time. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on over to modules. I'm going to come on down to example papers. Student papers. So my paper was more of a example on citing of sources. Okay, so it's a literary paper. We won't read it. So I have one on sustainable futures. It's a really good paper. It's a little dry. Okay, I have one on video games. He makes an unusual claim. It's somewhat interesting. It's also a very good paper. These are my 2A papers. I have one on bride wars, which is about how cost expensive it is to get married. Sports figures, which is the effectiveness of sports figures selling products, and then another paper on materialistic movement and how we are a consumer society. So let me give you a couple minutes. I wish I could set up a poll really quickly. I'll just kind of wait. Everybody talk. Which topic you want to read? So it is very popular. Usually video games are popular with guys, and the bride wars is popular with girls, and a girl did write it. So I think I'm going to try and download it. So I'm downloading because it's just easier for me to pull up. Okay. And look, Kate Middleton wrote it. You all know who Kate Middleton is? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
So this was a right around when she had just gotten married. She must have gotten married right around there. Let me do one page, view one page, and then I'll make it bigger. So either you can follow along on your computer with it, or you can look at the screen, okay? So our goal here, we're just gonna read through, we have an hour to read through it, maybe a little bit less because I wanna talk about the quizzes in the next class. And we'll talk about what would you wanna hear more about, maybe each page, more about believing, doubting, and then any are you sayings, okay? So, okay, so I'll do the first one here. So, so Bride Wars, the Battle of Consumption. And I wanted to preface this, these students who did this, I had them read an awful lot. So I have recently decreased the number of your sources, but I used to have sources have to use 8. So look at how many sources she had. She had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She did have the 8 sources. And this paper is 10 pages long. So I had them put a statement at the bottom. You don't have to do that for this one. So, okay. So this one will have more sources than I'm requiring of you. All right, so brides all over the United States have taken the concept and extravagance of weddings to new heights. They are racking up an average bill for a wedding per couple of $28,427, according to Knot.com. Brides seek to debut themselves and gain status among others through their wedding planning, causing excessive consumption. I have personally seen this through rotting in my brain of countless hours watching shows like Say Yes to the Dress or For Weddings, where the brides shred their families' wallets to pieces with competing on how creative their wedding can be and how much money they can spend, thus losing the true value of their wedding and turning it into one big dollar sign. Okay, so I wasn't just such a stickler to have a thesis statement within the introduction. Do we have a thesis statement here? Okay, so what is it?
Maybe that brides seek to debt themselves to gain status among others.
Or can it be also that where it says how they create their wedding can be how much money they can spend, thus losing the true value of their wedding and turning it into one big dollar sign.
Okay, so let's see here. Oh my God. So let me go back to home. Go back to here. So where was that one? Down here?
Yeah, the last sentence.
Okay, so we'll just highlight that. Okay, so highlight it. And all right. Okay. What I do typically is after I get a thesis statement sense of the purpose of the paper, I swing down to the last paragraph. So because I want to see if by the end of the paragraph, the topic, if people got off topic. And I have had students that all of a sudden they're talking about something else. So just know that that's something that I tend to do and get rid of the spaces there. So I'll read this last one. Let me know what you think. Brides in today's society consume massive amounts to prove and gain status among their peers. It is not only the super brides or bridezillas who are developing this ego, it is brides across the world. Our wedding culture has taken a shift from value to price value and family to materialism. This is all because the brides need to initiate themselves through materialism to others and on the way damaging their bank account and values of a wedding. Families, grooms, and future financial plans are affected by bride's ego and need for consumption. The value and tradition of weddings is being drowned, I think being drowned in a sea of materialism, narcissism, and consumption. Okay, so that was probably the more exactly what she was trying to say. A lot of times a clearer thesis statement will come out of the second draft or the third draft, right? And then you put it at the front and then you use that to prove it, because in the United States, we do like our thesis statements, our points being made up front. We're kind of a direct society.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's kind of a longer paragraph, but would someone tackle that paragraph and then we'll stop. Maybe I'll stop now. Is there anything that you think that you're going to want to hear about here? Any more about so far?
No, it's not necessarily. I think I just found it interesting that there's not a direct thesis statement.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
right.
Whereas we're like trying to create a solid one that you could see for like this is it. This is my thesis statement. So that was
right. And this is not an A paper, and I was also, but I started teaching 2010, so it takes a while to figure out what you're teaching. So but she did by the end have one. All right. So there was, and she does not go too far off. There are a couple wrong words in there. I was not a stickler for editing like I was now, like I am now. I would have probably really pointed out her wrong word usage, but I'm not. Okay, someone read, my sister recently had her wedding.
My sister recently had her wedding in September of 2013, and firsthand, I watched as she spent $20,000 for every top vendor and detail she could fit in her wallet-sized imagination. Her wedding was a beautiful, magical day, but it made me realize that weddings today have taken a shift from gathering, celebrating two families coming together, to how creative and extravagant a bride can make her wedding to please her guests and to outdo the next bride, which leads to one thing: spending. This excessive consumption of the bride causes issues between the couple's values and how they start their life together. With the amount brides spend today and how often they develop a huge ego, it can cause a stress on the relationship between the bride and groom, bringing their relationship into an environment based on materialism rather than love and the true meaning of marriage. This spending not only affects the foundation of couples' marriages, but their family's financial situation as well. My family's situation is no different. My mother had to take out a loan for the year to help pay for my sister's wedding as much as she could, thus putting the rest of our family in a financial cram. Although my sister and her husband paid for the bulk of the wedding, the tradition of the couple's family being responsible for the cost is still very prevalent in today's wedding culture.
Okay. All right. Any more about believing, doubting, are you saying in this particular paragraph?
I have an are you saying.
Okay. And let's see, what I can do is I can insert, I'll go to review and I can do a comment. Where is the Okay, go ahead. Are you saying what?
Are you saying all brides are guilty of frivolous spending?
Okay. All brides. Of course, I can't spell right. Okay, so anybody else?
I have an are you saying where it says this spending not only affects the foundation of couples' marriages. So are you saying that
Or was
when
that?
you
I'm just going to
this
put it at the end. Go ahead.
okay. Are you saying having a wedding causes oh, what am I trying to say? Causes marriages to begin off in a rocky situation or in a materialistic environment.
Okay. Okay. And I probably would have liked this as the introduction, the first paragraph. I found it more interesting than what she used, which was kind of a traditional, general kind of statement at the beginning. And an essay can always be revised, so I could have told her that. Okay. Anybody else?
I had a more about for the first paragraph.
Right. Oh, first paragraph?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go back up. Let me go back up. Okay, so I'll put it right here.
When she talks about the $28,427, I wanted to know more about where is the location that the average price for a wedding is that amount per couple. Like where is that located that that's the average?
Okay. I do think, oh, she did say .com, and I'm not too sure that's very credible.
I
Right?
meant like California, you know, like what state, like where is that the average per couple?
Or Iowa, right?